Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Setting the Agenda with me, Meghna Dekha. Well, Times Now has been at the forefront, supporting the voice of the students, getting you one expose after the other, demanding accountability from the authorities. Today, we are going to show you, after the OSM, the on-screen marking mayhem, which was unleashed during CBSE's Class 12 boards, if there is a possible real cover-up which is being done by the CBSE, well, we are going to get you that mega exclusive. We are going to tell you how there are 8 different schools with identical scripts that they are making reels out of, defending the OSM. Who put them up to it? That story coming your way. First up, here are the headlines. After CBSE's on-screen marking system comes under intense scrutiny, fresh controversy is now erupting over alleged damage control by the board. Sources tell Times Now that the OSM rollout is facing serious backlash from students and schools over discrepancies in mark sheets uploaded for re-evaluation, along with complaints of technical glitches and evaluation. Down to the new political chapter in Karnataka has now begun. Times Now exclusive scoop suggests that D.K. Shivakumar is set to take oath on the 3rd of June. 3 weeks ahead of the NEET re-examination, pressure builds. Government is likely considering deploying of the IAF for the transportation of question papers. Opposition calls it failure of the government. Political face-off over Rahul Gandhi's remarks on CBSE OSM row. BJP questions Congress's doublespeak on questioning the very firm that the party awarded in Congress-ruled states. From back-to-back crime shockers in Tamil Nadu, Vijay government is now under fire. DMK, AIADMK and AMMK claim multiple security orders were issued by the CMO, but no concrete action was taken. All eyes are on the courtroom today as Twisha case accused Giribala Singh and Samarth Singh are set to be produced before the court. Canada's Vishnoi files trigger major controversy after Canadian police allege that the gang has a reach which is far beyond just India and may command over 1,000 shooters. NSA Ajit Doval delivers a strong message on terrorism, asserting that there can be no hypocrisy in the fight against terror, reiterating India's zero-tolerance policy. Well, after CBSE's on-screen marking system comes under intense scrutiny, now there is a fresh controversy erupting over the alleged damage control by the board. In fact, sources tell Times Now that the OSM rollout is facing serious backlash from students and schools over the discrepancies in mark sheets uploaded for re-evaluation, along with complaints of technical glitches as well as evaluation error. In fact, here on Times Now, we've spoken to several of the students. They've told us about what exactly are the problems. Some of them said these answer sheets weren't even theirs. But this is a bigger charge now coming in against the CBSE. Well, Times Now has managed to access internal talking points which have been allegedly circulated by the CBSE. The regional officers have sent it to school principals, nudging them to make reels that you can see on your screens, to make reels backing the OSM, explaining how wonderful the OSM is, how the entire process is going to minimize human error and it is going to be efficient. Forget about what the students have been saying, how they have been in great agony because of the OSM. Principals now are making reels instead, hailing OSM, saying that is going to be a game changer. Well, there are sources who are telling Times Now that principals have been nudged to amplify positive messaging on the OSM system and publicly come out and defend the digital evaluation process amidst growing criticism. Now, shockingly, there are multiple principals who are believed to have been given near identical scripts. CBSE may have denied it now, but there are identical scripts that you will hear right now being read out by the same principals. Different principals, Different reels, but the script remains the same. Sources tell us this script was provided by the CBSE, that the schools, as per the sources, even produced identical praise videos, raising questions over coordinated messaging. So is this genuine reassurance, or is this a scripted damage control by the CBSE? We'll tell you what CBSE says about it. But first, I want you to see one after the other principals coming out and saying that there is how good the entire system of OSM really is. But before we get you the details and you listen to all the identical reels of these principals, let's explain to you the internal pitch note. We are going to break down what the entire issue is. Well, it is being alleged that CBSE has gone into damage control mode. It is also being alleged that the school principals are now being asked to make reels backing CBSE's OSM. That CBSE had asked the schools to make these pro-positive OSM reels, saying that OSM has been a wonderful idea, that this is just a teething problem. In fact, you can see and watch the entire alleged CBSE script on Times Now. We're going to show you how one principal after the other has parroted the script of the CBSE. In fact, we have also been told by our sources that OSM has improved our test assessments, is what all the principals can be heard saying. 8 of these principals, and there are many more, but 8 of them are going to be here on Times Now. We are going to show you how they've put out identical reels, and their scripts are exactly the ones which are echoing and parroting the CBSE. All 8 principals are coming your way. You'll be able to see what exactly they have said in support of OSM when their students themselves have been saying that this may have hurt their entire future. We are going to, in fact, before we tell you anything more, we are going to listen in to all the school principals and what it is that they are alleging, and how you can hear one after the other school principal coming out and speaking in support of the OSM. Listen in to the principals first.
It was introduced with a positive outlook.
From an academic standpoint, the OSM system has fundamentally improved the structural integrity of our assessments.
By automating totals and question-wise score mappings, it completely eliminates the human clerical errors, such as calculation slips or posting mistakes, which used to plague traditional physical marking.
It frees up our evaluators to focus strictly on content rather than numbers, paving the way for a more standardized, transparent, and eco-friendly evaluation process aligned with the national education policy.
CBSE has already addressed these concerns and has provided a re-evaluation process to resolve them. If you feel there is any discrepancy, do use the official CBSE re-evaluation window.
Well, we are going to tell you what exactly it is that the CBSE has also said, because Times Now has managed to access the script. You just heard right now 8 different principals, one after the other, coming out and parroting the same script. The same script saying OSM has been great. We are now going to put out a graphics which is going to tell you what exactly CBSE's talking points are in this internal pitch which has been given to the school principals. What have they been told to talk about and say about the OSM? Well, here you have it. They've been told that there are regional officers who had sought positive revivals and talk about positive reviews of the OSM. The second scoop is that principals have been asked to back the OSM system. That principals have been told to praise the OSM benefits and explain to their students how good it is for them in the long run. That schools have been urged to reassure the parents as well, which is why these reels that you just heard right now were being put out. Also, that principals were told to make pro-OSM videos saying that this is going to reduce any human errors. So this is the big story that we are getting for you. Did CBSE force these principals to make reels, identical reels at that, praising the OSM system, where the students are now saying that their lives have been impacted by it? We are also going to now break the CBSE response. We asked the CBSE, is this true that they had forced the principals, the CBSE affiliated schools to put out these reels backing it. We are going to get you that big breaking. There you have it on your screens. The schools have said that it is the CBSE which forced them to make these reels, but CBSE sources are now saying that there was no official message which was sent out. Sources, however, are telling us that it is the regional officers of the CBSE who have been nudging principals to do this. CBSE on that part have said, not in my name, that sources have told us, and that CBSE denies any such copy-paste move by them to try and damage control, saying there is no such copy which was sent to any of the schools. CBSE is maintaining that the stance of theirs is that no such order was given to them. So there you have it. You have the CBSE now denying this. Let me go across to Kritika, who is joining us with more details on this. Kritika, thank you for bringing the story to light, because here on Times Now, we have been saying this again and again, that the students' futures cannot be played with, cannot be experimented with. OSM happened, we fought for the rights of the students, we fought for the students who said that their futures may be impacted by this system being hastily put in place. But instead of accountability, there seems to be a damage control. Real damage, but real control seems to be it. Why is the, Kritika, why is the CBSE now denying that they sent out a script? Because it's quite clear, all the principals are parroting the exact same identical script.
Well, absolutely, Meghna. Remember, this is also coming in at a time wherein Dharmendra Pradhan, the education minister yesterday, in fact, gave a media bite, and he stated that he takes responsibility for the discrepancy that are being witnessed. There will be penalties that will be filed on the respective bidder, because of whom there have been issues of blurred scripts or missing scripts, even the mix-up that has happened. All of that yesterday, the education minister said that he takes responsibility for. But now we're also learning that it is the same board under him, the CBSE, whose regional officers are calling up principals and sharing a document titled Material for Principals for them to read out from. Now, as you rightly showed to our viewers, multiple principals, in fact, parroting the same lines right from the beginning till the very end. Even the language for most have also not been changed. All of this happening in at a time wherein students have taken to social media to, in fact, outrage in the highest of tones against the discrepancies that they are witnessing in their marks. They've already, since the day the results came out, in fact, have been pointing out how the results are not in line with their academic record, and that is where all the backlash is coming from. So we've also been reporting on this, and now to damage control, the CBSE is in fact going ahead and asking their principals to make videos. We also, in fact, accessed a social media post by one of the PM Shri schools based in Jaipur, wherein a student, in fact, was asked to speak on the benefits of OSM. Multiple times that child has repeated in that video that OSM benefits, that his marks are in line with his track record, his expectations, and how this frees up load for teachers. All of it coming in at a time wherein there is mounting pressure on the CBSE, on the Education Ministry, whether it is about the re-NEET examination or even now the big CBSE fiasco. Over to you, Meghna.
Well, in fact, stay with us, Kritika. In fact, let me go across to Shefali as well. Shefali, there have been a lot of complaints. You must remind our viewers what are the kind of problems that the students face with the OSM, why this could literally impact their cutoff marks, their college admissions, their scholarships, perhaps their entire future.
Right, we know several reports, students that have informed that they have actually gotten the wrong answer sheets, or the scanned answer sheet which they have received isn't there. So there are multiple reports. What we are understanding, there are at least 5,000 mismatched answer sheets or error that have been found in these answer sheets. And even just right after re-evaluation is when these students got to know. And now after this, CBSE is taking up this issue. And of course, with the students getting admission to college, the process will be delayed. With the marks that they even multiple times, I have spoken to multiple students, which they are saying that instead of certain percentage which they have received when the CBSE 12th results were out, they could have gotten more. So of course there has been, there is a problem with the whole system, what students are currently facing. And not just that, they are saying that during the re-evaluation process also, because there was the website was down, there were questions of it being hacked and other scenarios which were taking place. There's a lot of problems that the students and the parents were facing while applying for re-evaluation as well. So there are a lot many aspects into it which students and parents are going through right now. With the admissions being delayed, they are not able to understand what exactly percentage they are on, what is the problem and how they are going to solve it. They are obviously hoping CBSE to give some concrete answers to them so that they can plan their future wisely.
Absolutely. Shefali, Kritika, do stay on with us. Let's summarize what kind of grouses have been coming to light ever since the exam marks came in, OSM kicked in, and then the students have been asking for re-evaluations and copies of their mark sheets. The first problem is that many of them said that wrong answer sheets were tagged to their roll numbers. Then there are other problems also. For example, many of the students said that the mark sheets which were given to them, they were blurred or illegible, and they couldn't even see what they have written, and they could barely read if they were marked correctly. They also said that there was a huge rush for this digital evaluation without actually putting in checks and balances. And this year itself, there were unexpectedly low marks which were given not to one or two students, but across the board, the entire average marks have been coming down as well. The next problem is that the portal crashes have been massive. Payment glitches have been happening every time they would try and ask for a re-evaluation. Also, the entire portal would crash. That led to many digital glitches as well, technical problems which came up. There's also no transparency in the way that the grading processes had been carried out. At least these are the allegations which have been given by all the students of CBSE who had to endure the OSM system. Now, we don't have a problem. Let me go back across to Kritika. We don't have a problem when there are upgrades. Going digital, and we've spoken to many experts about the entire OSM system. We've spoken to many of the students as well. Now, Kritika, everyone realizes and says that, yes, indeed, going digital will be the way forward, especially when it comes to reducing the manual errors, human errors, which may happen when it comes to evaluation. However, the problems like this, has the CBSE done anything to address any of the 10 problems that we just showed right now on our screens? Other than asking principals to make reels, allegedly, has it taken proactive steps? Has it listened to the students?
Well, students continue to be in quite a lot of distress. Remember, currently, the window for the verification of their issues will open up. So far, they've only been able to download their answer scripts. Now they will be uploading the specific questions, the resolution of which they need. This entire process in itself is going to take a lot of time. This is coming in also at a time wherein these students are writing their examinations for the CUET, for their higher education. They have to apply abroad, which is why they need a proper percentage as well. All of that is getting delayed. And as you rightly pointed out, the issue is not with digital evaluation. It is with the lack of preparation that is now coming to fore. From the very beginning, we have been reporting on how there has been a 3% drop in the overall CBSE pass percentage as well. But the education secretaries have been, in fact, brushing the matter up under the carpet.
Absolutely.
Currently,
they've brushed the matter under the carpet. They've gone into damage control mode. But right now, there's also politics which is erupting. Stay with us. We'll just come back to you, Kritika. Big breaking news which is coming in. Arvind Kejriwal, the former Chief Minister of Delhi, has come out and slammed this real damage control, says that there is no correction, only justification coming in from the CBSE, that CBSE is busy justifying their rotten system. We are going to be putting out the post shortly of what exactly it is that Arvind Kejriwal has said. He's targeted his guns not for the first time at the CBSE. Remember, political slugfest over CBSE and their systems have created big political ripples across the board as well. In fact, you have Arvind Kejriwal's post. I'm going to go across and show you what that post says. You have this right here. He says that rather than accepting the problem and correcting it, they are using kids to justify their rotten system. They are hell-bent upon ruining the future of our kids. Can you still keep quiet? Well, this is what Arvind Kejriwal has put out, saying, can you still keep quiet without accepting the problem, correcting it? You are using kids to justify this rotten system. Well, there you have it. More slugfest, which has happened already over this. Let me go across to Shefali. Shefali, we've seen this kind of a slugfest over CBSE, not just with Arvind Kejriwal, Rahul Gandhi, many other people from TMC, other political parties. Everyone has been training their guns on the CBSE, and we've seen an active war of words, even retorts coming in from the CBSE. Remind our viewers what the CBSE has been saying.
Right. CBSE on allegations of co-empt, the sources are saying that the bidding has happened through proper channels and the way it should have done. As in the last stage, there were two companies who were bidding, which was one was co-empt Edutech Private Limited and the other was TCS. And through the proper bidding channel, only co-empt was decided to be the one who can work on OSM. So CBSE sources are outrightly saying that there has been no mess up in that sense, where the bidding has been happened in the right manner. This is what CBSE sources are telling Times Now. Apart from that, we are seeing political war of words with opposition and BJP, where opposition is saying, criticizing the co-empt company, while the BJP is saying that it is Telangana and Karnataka also who has been working closely with the co-empt, and then the opposition did not raise any question. So while CBSE sources are also saying that not just in many states like Telangana, Karnataka, West Bengal, this company is there, the agency is working, and it's not just some particular states. So CBSE is coming right out there while saying the bidding happened through proper channels and there was no malicious intent behind it.
In fact, do stay on with us. After all, this is a Mega Times Now exclusive here on Setting the Agenda. We are telling you how there is a damage control script which allegedly has been written by the CBSE, but the schools are the ones who are being forced to echo it, to parrot it in their reels. What are these reels? Well, it features principals, all of them saying the same thing, that OSM is a wonderful idea. Watch this for yourself.
It was introduced with a positive outlook.
From an academic standpoint, the OSM system has fundamentally improved the structural integrity of our assessments.
By automating totals and question-wise score mappings, it completely eliminates the human clerical errors, such as calculation slips or posting mistakes, which used to plague traditional physical marking.
It frees up our evaluators to focus strictly on content rather than numbers, paving the way for a more standardized, transparent, and eco-friendly evaluation process aligned with the national education policy.
CBSE has already addressed these concerns and has provided a re-evaluation process to resolve them. If you feel there is any discrepancy, do use the official CBSE re-evaluation window.
Well, here on Times Now, we've been looking at one reel after the other of these principles, and can you believe it? All the two-minute reels have the exact same script. It's a copy-paste from one reel to the other. Can CBSE still deny that they didn't write that script? That all the principals woke up in the morning and decided today we will all make identical reels backing the OSM? These are questions that CBSE cannot simply deny, but they must actively explain. We leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us here on Setting the Agenda. I'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon.